everyone, and welcome back to our ISI video channel where we discuss various topics related to international students and their health insurance needs. Today, we're going to be discussing the importance of having a health insurance plan and debunking some common myths and misconceptions of health insurance and providing you with more of an understanding of the importance of finding an insurance plan that's right for you during your stay inside the United States. Joining us is one of our newest members to ISI, Maria Caballero, who is an insurance specialist on our customer service team. Maria, thank you so much for joining us today. We're so happy to have you, and we'd love to hear a little bit more about what brought you to ISI and your current role here.
Hello, Sally. Thanks for you to inviting me. Yeah, sure. So I'm currently located in the Mexico City office, and I'm also from here. I actually live abroad 1 year in Ireland as a student. So I'm quite familiar with how someone can feel when they are alone in a different country and are in need of help. Also, I love helping people in any way I can. So this is why I decided to join the customer service team, and what better way to help the students by helping them through the process to seek medical treatment, or even helping them to choose as simply as possible. I wish I'd had someone like us when I was abroad, to be honest with you.
It's so nice hearing about your background. And yeah, I'm sorry that we weren't there to help you during your time abroad, but we're here to help students now. So we'll go ahead and get started and start discussing some common myths to insurance. So our first myth is maybe you feel like you don't need a health insurance plan because you never get sick. What is wrong with this misconception, and can you clarify the facts for us?
Sure. Well, to be honest with you, Sally, I used to think the same way when I was abroad, because during that time I had a really good health. And also, at least in my country, we usually think that we can fix everything by drinking chamomile tea. Then, of course, I got sick and I realized that the system was completely different to the one in my home country. So the process to book an appointment, how the prescription works, the wording of the entire insurance world, even the claim steps was difficult for me to understand. So I will say this is the main reason why it's important to have an insurance plan, not only to be covered in case that something happens, but also to know that there is always there to be, like, someone is going to be available to help you if you need to verify your benefits, if you have questions on how to use your plan, or where you can go to seek treatment if you're not feeling well. And of course, the best part is that you could save a lot of money instead of healing your pain with chamomile tea, of course, or some other forms of self-medication or some home remedies.
That's right. Yep. Sometimes those home remedies don't always work, especially if you were to maybe get into a big accident. That's not going to do the trick, unfortunately. So you definitely need health insurance. You never know what could happen. And even if you don't end up getting sick, you have no control over, like I said, getting into an accident or unforeseen circumstances, which leads to our next myth of, if something were to happen, I'll just buy insurance then or after the fact. You know, I'll get into a car accident and then I'll get me some insurance so I can go to the hospital and be covered. Can you explain the problem in doing that?
Yeah, sure. That is very inconvenient, Sally. It's important for the students to keep this in mind in case that they have any any sickness that needs continuous treatment, since many of our plans have waiting periods of 12 or 6 months to cover eligible pre-existing conditions. Of course, it will depend on the condition and in any specific insurance exclusion to know what the expenses could be covered. Another scenario could be that a student that would like to purchase an insurance right away because they are already sick or they got an injury. In that case, these conditions will probably be excluded from coverage since it happened before the plan became effective, and it will be then considered a pre-existing condition. So this is an important fact to keep in mind, because you never know what can happen while you're abroad. And of course, you could probably spend a lot of money instead of saving by not having a health insurance plan.
Perfect. Yep, exactly. So thanks for clarifying what makes something considered a pre-existing condition. It doesn't have to necessarily be something long-term that you've had for a period of time. It could just be something that happened, right? And then you go to buy your insurance plan and now that's pre-existing. So therefore not covered. So high medical bills could have been prevented just by having that insurance plan. And we will go on to our next myth, which is if I use my insurance plan, my premium will go up. Is that true that you have to use, sorry, is it true that if you have to use your insurance plan, you might need to pay more for it in the future, or how does that work?
Well, in that case, people can get confused between the price of the premiums, bills, out-of-pocket expenses, and also in any definition that it involves spending money. So it's a little bit confusing for them. But a simple way to understand how the money of your premium moves around is, first of all, your insurance premium will not go up if you use your plan. So the instance where a premium amount could change will be when you go to renew your plan, you get older and fall into a different age bracket, or once a year when the insurance company review their plans, they decide to increase the premiums rate. Typically, as long as there is about the same amount of premium or money going into the company for a plan as the insurance company is paying out, the price for your insurance, also known as a premium, will remain about the same. So I will say that the students should not be afraid to contact their insurance company if they notice an increase on the cost of the premium, or if there is any amount that they don't recognize.
Perfect. Yeah. So thanks for explaining that. That makes sense that your premium wouldn't go up because that's really what your insurance plan is designed for. It's designed to protect you in the event that something were to happen. And so you definitely should use your plan because that is the purpose of having a health insurance plan in case the unexpected were to happen. So we're beginning to understand a little bit more about why you need insurance beforehand and how it works. But what about our next myth, which is that health insurance is all the same, so I'll just find the cheapest one? Can you explain why maybe that isn't the case?
Well, this is of course not true. Every health insurance plan is different in terms of what is covered, with different deductible amounts, copays, and coinsurance. So buying a cheapest plan could result in not that much of coverage. If you find a cheap plan that you will like to look carefully at the benefits and see what you will actually be paying if you don't go into an accident or became sick versus what your insurance will cover. As you know, Sally, we have different international health insurance plans offering coverage for different things and different levels of coverage. So we also have school requirement sections in our website to help guide students to plans that will meet the requirements for their schools. Maybe your school allows you to waive the current plan that might seem too expensive for you. So students needs to keep in mind that this doesn't mean they can necessarily needs to waive any plan. Oftentimes, you will be required to have a plan with similar coverage to your school plans, so therefore resulting in a similar price. If you even need help finding a plan to cover something specific or need help understanding what plans covers, I strongly recommend them to contact our custom service team to find what plans will work best for them.
Thank you, Maria. Yeah, so that makes sense. You know, you get what you pay for. And so if you're trying to maybe waive your school's very comprehensive ACA compliant plan with another ACA compliant plan, guess what? You're probably going to be paying a similar price. You don't want to be buying that $29 plan because it's probably not going to be ACA compliant. And you want to look at those benefits and you'll want to look at that coverage and understand, okay, what am I going to be paying for if I go to the hospital versus what is the insurance going to be paying for? Because those cheap plans result in typically the student paying a little bit more when they actually go to seek treatment. So that makes sense. We will go ahead and talk about our next myth, which is if I have health insurance, I don't need to worry about anything because I'll always be covered, which I think we might know the answer to this now that we've learned a thing or two, but go ahead and tell us, Maria.
Yeah, sure. So this is a super common myth, Sally. So the insurance company will always try their best to help their members. However, students are also responsible for reading the information of their plans and understand what they will need to pay versus what the insurance will pay, and also be aware of any exclusion of the plan. Otherwise, know as what is not covered on the plan. Every plan has a list of exclusions, of course, and it's important to read this before buying any plan, as just having insurance doesn't necessarily mean that all your medical expenses are covered. Also, if they aren't 100% sure on how the plan works, they can always contact us for explaining them how to submit a claim, verify benefits, and how to seek medical treatment, of course.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Maria. We hope that this has clarified things for our audience today. However, as always, if you have questions, like Maria said, about choosing a plan that's right for you or any other health insurance related questions, feel free to contact our customer service team and they'll go ahead and point you in the right direction. We look forward to seeing you all next time. And Maria, thank you so much for joining us again and all of your help and insight.
Thank you, Sally, for hosting me today. It was a great pleasure chatting with you, and I really hope this information help the students understand better how the insurance world works. See you soon.
Yep. See you later. Bye.
Bye.